Hello, in this video we look at Dhammapada, chapter 9, Papavaggo, verse 8. Let's do one verse here. That's verse 123 in the consecutive numbering. Vanijova Bhyam Maggang Appasatto Mahadhano Visanjivitu Kamova Papani Parivarjaye. And again with the text up. Here we go. Vanijova Bahyam Maggang Appasatto Mahadhano Visanjivitu Kamova Papani Parivarjaye. Varnija, same in Pali and Sanskrit, Varnija, but in Sanskrit also there's Banija with a B, means a merchant. And it's possible, I think plausible even, that the root van is cognate with the English verb winning, in the sense of he's out to win a profit, to make a profit. So the Vanija, merchant. Incidentally, the modern name in India, modern family name Banerjee, comes from that root, just as we have a merchant equally exists as a surname in English. So Vanijova, like a merchant, and the verb comes at the end. The verb parivarjaye, would avoid, might avoid, applies to the Vanijova parivarjaye bhayamagam. He would avoid a dangerous road. And also parivarjaye, the jivitukamo, the person who desires to live, would avoid taking poison. That's the visan. So Vanijova, like a merchant, or just as a merchant, parivarjaye, parivarjaye papani, he avoids, or he would avoid, one might avoid papani, sins, evils, that meaning here the doing of evil. So one might avoid the doing of evil. Varnijova Bahemagam, as a merchant would avoid a dangerous road. And the second half of the first line are two adjectives, both of them qualifying the Varnijo. And it's the Varnijo va, which is the same as the Varnijo iva, merchant like a merchant. A merchant appasato, with a small caravan, in other words, not traveling with a large party of people who can defend themselves, but traveling appasato, alpasarta, it would be in Sanskrit, traveling with a small caravan, mahadhano, but with a lot of wealth, with a lot of valuable stuff with him. This word satta means a caravan. In Sanskrit, it's composed of artha, meaning objective, aim, goal, and sa, meaning with. So if you are sartha, the original meaning of that was that you've got a particular aim. You're traveling, specifically traveling with a purpose. So the sartha in Sanskrit shortens to satta in Pali, not to be confused with satta, meaning teacher, which is shastra or shasta in Sanskrit. And alpa sarta, so appasatta in Pali, small caravan. So obviously the bigger the caravan, the bigger the group, the safer you are. So it's appasato, with only a small caravan, only a small group of people with him. Mahadano, having much wealth. Let me call up the iPad here. Here we are. Dhana, by the way, nothing to do with dana. Dhana, aspirated the and a short a, dhana, means wealth. Now, having much wealth, uh, you'd expect to see mahadhana, and that's exactly what you do see in Sanskrit. Mahadhana, much wealth. It's a bahuvrihi compound, a possessive compound, and it means having much wealth. Now, this turns up in Pali. You ought to see Mahadhana in Pali, but you see it turning up as Mahadhana with a doubling of that the. Now, there's no etymological or grammatical reason for that. It just happens. There's not even a reason for the meter of the verse, because Mahadhana and Mahadhana are both the same sequence of syllables. It's the same light, heavy, light, light. Mahadhana, Mahadhana, metrically, poetically, of the same meter. Da 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 da. It just happens unaccountably. We also see, for example, of great danger, Mahabhaya, exactly the same in Sanskrit, but we also see Mahabhaya, and just as Mahadhana to Mahadhana and Mahabhaya to Mahabhaya, there's no linguistic etymological necessity or justification for it. It's simply one of the idiosyncrasies of Pali. So the papani parivarjaye, one should avoid evils or the doing of evil acts. Vanijova, like a merchant, avoids, again understand, avoids parivarjaye bahimagam, a dangerous road, like a merchant, appasato, with a small caravan, mahadhano, but having a lot of wealth with him. Parivarjaye avoids bhayamagam, avoids the dangerous road. And also like visam jivitu kamova, like somebody who desires to live, would avoid poison. Let me just make a couple of corrections here. In the copy that I had posted, I'd made an error there. I just put 2s. It's n to visham is a neuter word. It should be n to s. And also, again, I corrected it now, but I hadn't before. In the copy that I'd previously posted, I'd made a mistake. Sorry, my fault. I'd written pravraja and pabaja. In Sanskrit, it's pravrajya. I'd missed out that ya, and it's the jya that becomes, oops, a double j. Yet another mistake. Come on. It's pabaja, pravrajya, pabaja, meaning going forth. So this. Remember, and I said it's not to be confused. The vraj, to go or to proceed, the root vraj, pravrajya, not to be confused with the root vrij, of which the root meaning is to turn, and prefix pari here normally means around, but here away, whereas turning to go round something is like circumvent, means to come round it. This is to turn so as to go round it, to avoid it. So parivarjati, in Pali, the parivarjaye, he would avoid. So he meaning the wise person, sensible person, avoids acts of evil, visham jivitu kamova, like the jivitu kamo avoids visam, poison. Now, jivitu kamo, we've got the root jiv. Let me call up iPad again. Oops, where are we? Here we are. The root jiv. So, what am I doing? Jiv, to live. Jivati, same in Sanskrit and Pali. To live, it has the ending tum, that infinitive ending tum, with the link vowel I, so jivitum, same in Sanskrit and Pali, jivitum, to live. Now, you can make an adjective, somebody who desires to do something. You can put the noun kama, that's in kama meaning a desire. Cross out the final m, so jivitu kamaha in Sanskrit, jivitu kamo, nominative singular in Pali, means one who has a desire to live. And you can put, it's very productive in the sense that this construction, productive in the sense that pretty much any verb that has an infinitive, which I think is virtually every verb in the language, you can make a desirous of doing something by crossing the M off the infinitive and putting kama at the end. If you're gantum, to go, gantum, to go. If you want to go, you're desirous of going, cross off the M, gantukama. So that makes an adjective meaning desirous of going. Actually, the explanation for that is in Vedic. Sorry, I'll start again. The tum we regard as the infinitive ending in Sanskrit and Pali. If you go back to Vedic, the root plus tu just makes an ordinary verbal noun, not an infinitive, just the act of doing something. Often it's tu or itu, you often get that link vowel I. It's the same. It's not grammatically significant, just some roots take it, others don't. So not jiv tu, but jivitu is the verbal noun. And jivitum was the accusative form of it. So in Vedic, jivitum, to live, gantum, to go, were actually accusatives of the verbal noun that very frequently came to be used in the same way that we use an infinitive in, say, Latin, other Romance languages, and English. And so jivitu kama, desirous of going, is in fact a Vedic construction, taking jivitu as the verbal noun going, the act of going, kama, desire, so desiring the act of going, desiring to go. So I'll read through this again before we wind up. Vanijova bhayam maggam appasatto mahadhano visanjivitu kamo va papani parivajaye. And remember, the va after vanijo and the va after jivitu kamo va, they both mean like. So the papani parivajaye, one should avoid committing evil. One should avoid committing evil. Varnijova, like a merchant, they're traveling on a dangerous road. And like Jivdukamova, like the person who desires to live, Parivajaye avoids visam, poison. And once more, Vanijova bhayam maggam appasatto mahadhanam visanjivitu kamova papani parivajaye. And that's it on this video.